Yet at Bible Prophecy 2010, part 32. You know, as I spoke concerning the matter the other day, where the Tea Party, the Tea Party, the Republican part, was voted in the United States of America. As being part of the House in the Republican Party, gaining control. Well, they rejoice in their victory. What I'm trying to say is they proclaim themselves, well, we gonna do this and we gonna do that, and we gonna do things different. But their priority and their propaganda is to not to pass certain bills that would connect all peoples in one accord and divide the kingdoms of the United States of America equally. I want to say this here, the kingdoms, because it controls so many parties of different peoples in different states, because the kingdoms is the United States of America, united together in one accord, but they rule different. So that's the reason I prefer using the name kingdoms of the United States. Now, we go back to the part where Barack Obama was sending troops over to Afghanistan. This was in favor of all the parties, Democrat and Republican alike, to send the troops to Afghanistan. They reverenced this, as long as they were killing the peoples of the seed of Abraham. We know as we look through time, and we know there was no marriage set in place to determine to determine what is just and what is unjust of killing the peoples in Afghanistan because of post 9/11, knocking down a 10 Twin Tower Trade Center building, destroying 3,000 souls. We know there is not. But this war been going on for 9 years. How many people are you going to kill for the justification of replacing those 3,000 souls lost? We know they didn't kill over 3 or 4 million people over there since the war began in 9 years. We know this if we calibrate the people that was killed in Rwanda by the blade of a sword or machetes in a little over a month, which they alleged was 800,000. So if 800,000 was killed in Rwanda by the blade of the sword of machetes in that short span of time, we know in this span of time where they killed, where they dropped 1 million soldiers, we know that the blood been shared among the people over there is far greater than the ones was killed in Rwanda. We know this during the reign of President Clinton. Now, we know that over 1 million people have been killed, and no 100,000 is the biggest lie that ever was ever told. If you sit and believe a lie that they have only killed 100,000 people, this is the deceitfulness of the mind of Satan. On this hand, he is reveling that he had killed so many, but on this hand, he feeding it to the public perspective that he have only killed 100,000 people. This is a lie. You ain't killed. You killed more than 100,000 people over the course of 10 years or 9 years. You've done this. Now, this is as we go by the head count, the count of the soldiers that have been dropped, and the 200 people tonight was killed over in 2006, and this is after 2006, and the 1,500 was killed during 2007 from January to post 9/11 in 2007. We know these things. It's impossible to have a head count like that. President George W. Bush said it himself. In other words, they're trying to deceive the mind of the people through a deception. It's just like that old bad stepdad that takes the child in a dark room and whoops him, hit him everywhere he wants to. But at the end of the day, he's not giving an account. So well, he just whooped the boy's tail, and it's just a lie because he put more on that boy. Because why would he take him in a dark room? This has played itself out. But this is the same thing with playing itself out in this war in Afghanistan and Iraq. Daniel chapter 9 tells us that this was the first war of Armageddon. Well, I want to show you something here. As the democratized system of Republican game grounds here in the United States of America, you see the mindset of the people, they only think of themselves. Even as the war is going on, they is waging a war against their own infrastructure here in the United States of America. They're going to tear down the infrastructure of America and allow it to do. And the people that have fought for this country and hope them to gain their strength in the world through the blade of a sword, they're going to be excluded from the fat of the land, or the fruits of the land of America, by denying them Medicare and all of these things that should come to them. In other words, through a clever mind, this is satanic, demonic spirit that dwells in the Republican side, or in the peoples of the Gentiles here in America, is waging a war against itself as we speak. But yet still, they want to cry wolf, and they are the wolves. We have to go through this. We have to look at this and see where it's transpiring. What is coming to the infrastructure of America? Now, at the end of the day, when it comes down to a massive starvation, these people who got the money going to proclaim themselves as being rich, and they is not going to share the richness with the poor peoples of the United States of America. They're not going to do that. They're going to go and buy and sell with their currency, and where the poor man is not going to have any, or not be allowed to buy with his currency. This is the way it's going to be. They're going to shut the doors of Walmart and all these other stores, and not going to let people buy who is not part of the infrastructure of the Antichrist, who have the demonic spirit in them. Shutting the doors, leaving the poor peoples of the black race without. They're going to preserve their ways of their own. And you're going to see the dark side of America just like you have never seen it before. This is the way it's going to play itself out. We can look at this. I'm telling you the truth. We can look at this. He's not going to stop at people in Afghanistan and Iraq He gonna declare war against his own peoples here in the United States of America. This reason this vote went the way it was the other day.